there's a bit of dribbling going on around here, I must tell you there. Mike, you're a desperate fan as well, aren't you?
Oh, I'm a desperate fan of this one. Oh, he is too.
Well, that's all for tonight, so thank you very much.
It used to be the Michael Aspel show, didn't it?
Those were the days.
Sorry.
No, I was throwing these silly labels at you just now, and there was another one, the actress most men yearn after. Do you find that a bit of a millstone? I mean, you are ravishing.
What was that about the intellect? I didn't know that I...
You're quoted by serious
really?
papers, too, saying intelligent things.
Oh, I think that's when I'm in intelligent plays.
Ah.
And I say the words that some intelligent person has written, and I'm convincing, and they think that maybe that's me. I think it's very nice. I don't think there are that many awards. I mean, there are a few saying that people... I think there was one, the most fantasised about or something, and I don't know who these people are that are asked the questions.
Well, it's
very flattering. I like it.
No, you are apparently an English rose, but your childhood was spent in India, wasn't it?
Well, yes, I was born in Solihull.
That's pretty English.
Yes, that's very English. And then I went out, when I was 9 months old, I was taken out to India by my parents, who had a theatre company. They still have they still tour. And I went to roundabout India when I was a little tiny baby. But we travelled all the time. We went from one corner of the country to another, and we stayed in palaces and magnificent hotels and played in beautiful little theatres. And then the next 2 weeks we'd be in a dark bungalow with cockroaches and snakes in the loo and playing on little tables, desks tied together with string and a tarpaulin on the top for a stage. And we played all over to different people at different times. It was such an extraordinary childhood that you can't actually describe it. And I thought of writing a book, and I wanted to, but it's just too much.
And how easy was it to find work when you came back to England?
I arrived from nowhere. I hadn't been to drama school. I'd been to 13 convents, but I hadn't really been to school properly because I was working by the time I was 13. And I wrote to... I stayed with my mother's parents in Oulton, and I wrote to every theatre company and every person in the world. Nobody would even look at me because I hadn't been to drama school, and what was I doing out? Then the film that I'd made in India opened, called Shakespeare, a long, long time ago. And I got an agent. And the producer of the film said, here is a list. He's a rather marvellous man, he's my agent. He's done a lot since then. And he said, here's a list of people, because you are going to be a star. You're going to be terrible. And I thought, not true. Couldn't get anything. And there's the list of all the people you have to ring up. So I would arrive with I think I arrived with £100 originally, and I had, £5 something. I would go to Paddington Station and I would ring these people up and say, I'm here, I've arrived, and I want to work in England, and I think you can help me. And one of these unlikely people was Malcolm Muggeridge. How I thought he could help me, I don't know.
Well, if he couldn't, Mike could, couldn't
he invited me for lunch. He was lovely. And I got onto the train and went out to Robertsbridge, and it was because he was linked with India, and it took a long time to get a job, but I got one eventually.
He was one of your old standbys as
Lovely
well.
Man. He's absolutely charming. What a gentleman.
He's magic, yeah.
I remember the first time I met him, he said, I believe you used to perpetrate some sort of impersonation of me. I said, well, I do, actually. Yes, Mr. Muggeridge, I do it in my acting. It goes down very well. He said, well, what on earth do you say, dear boy? I said, well, I don't know, really. I put a lot of big words together, and to be honest with you, I don't know what I'm talking about. But, dear boy, neither do I.
Now, The Good Life, of course, was a smash hit, and we talked about Royals with Mike. And you even had a visit from the Royals during the making of that, didn't you?
Yes, we did. We did a special show. And it was very daunting, actually, because usually it's in a studio and rather relaxed in its own terrifying way.
Yeah.
Like things are, you know. And the seats would all be just the ordinary seats and everything was all right. But suddenly there was this Royal Command performance, as it were, and the whole of the BBC was polished up and down, all the corridors were polished. And suddenly, instead of this very ordinary house of seats with nice, ordinary people, there appeared these white leather sofas and bits of blue ribbon sort of tied along the front on a sort of balancing, and everything polished and beautiful. And then the procession of these wonderful people came in long frocks, and, yeah, I mean, it was terrible. terrifying. And if you dropped something, you couldn't say, "Oh, you know." It was all right because it was written specially for that
Yeah,
occasion.
it had some relevance.
Yes.
I remember once being at a lunch with the royals, and a helicopter landed outside, and the Queen said, "I wish they wouldn't do that. It makes the window so dusty." Very
I think they're
nice
wonderful.
people. Now, let's talk about nudity. Nudity seems to be obligatory.
Anybody's in particular?
Yes, actually. It seems to be obligatory in lots of plays these days, and there was a lot of talk about when your nudity occurred in Solo, wasn't it?
I can't remember people talking about it, but maybe they did. Yes, I didn't do it. Somebody else did it. I can't remember why, except I didn't want to much take all my clothes off in the middle of Hyde Park or Regent's Park or wherever it was.
That's probably
and
why.
rush into the Serpentine or wherever it was.
Are there any
We were doing it.
circumstances in which you would?
Well, not yet, no.
Not yet.
There haven't been so far.
Oh.
I've never thought there was reason. It's a very difficult thing, that, because I think the time will come when it doesn't really matter, and then I will. But if it's distracting, and if people don't accept it automatically, it does work sometimes in some films so beautifully that don't you think, that it couldn't have done without? But actually, that's quite rare.
Yes.
I think.
Yes, I
And
quite
when the
agree.
rare one comes, that I'll think about
I think
it then. But it hasn't happened yet.
If it's an integral part of the plot, you should know that two people are intimate, then I think, and they sleep together, then you possibly should see them nude together. But as
Yeah.
Felicity says, if it's tasteful...
It's when they
You don't
pretend to
show
be nude and
everything
they...
on there anyway, do you?
When it's just the two of them together and she jumps out of bed and holds the clothes in front of her, that's really
that's
silly.
a bit silly
Yes.
too. Yeah. All right, we'll never do